Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, I want to take a look at this book here, which may or may not be familiar to you out there. If not the comic, the movie. Yes, we want to take a look at a Marvel movie special, The Time Bandits #1. Yes, of course, Marvel comic from 1982. It is written, of course it's based on a movie, but it's written by S.J. Parkhouse with art by David Lloyd and John Stokes, and with the cover by Al Milgrom. And of course his is the only name that I'm familiar with. I looked a little bit into the other guys. They are all British writers and artists, and I presume that they did it there. They've all got credits for a lot of British comics as well as Marvel UK comics, and some American comics, I think. Okay, and the Time Bandits. Oh, I loved the Time Bandits. I haven't seen it in years, decades probably. I'd like to see it again. It is a British fantasy and adventure movie from 1981. It was written, produced, and directed by Terry Gilliam of Monty Python fame. It was made through Handmade Films. So with a host of big name stars at the time, doing guest and cameo spots, including many of the Monty Python performers. It was well received by the audiences and critics, and by the end of its original theatrical run, it had made. Remember, this was what, 1981. It made $36 million with a $5 million budget. That's a pretty good return. Remember, that's about 45 years ago, and $5 million budget was a pretty good sized budget for most movies, especially non-American made ones. Yeah, and from the cast, there was this movie had what was it? How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 little people, little guys, dwarfs in here, and the one who played Randall later became a well-known performer, but he died just a few years later. But he was after this, he starred in an American TV series. What was it called? Mr. Wizard, something like that. I've forgotten. Yeah, he was a little guy, and he was like a wizard type. I can't remember. Much, and anyway, and it also had one of the little people was Kenny Baker, who played R2-D2, and we've got a whole host of stars. I'll just here on the inside cover, it has some of the guest stars like John Cleese, Sean Connery, Shelley Duvall, Katherine Hellman, Ian Holm, Michael Palin, that's Sir Ralph Richardson, Peter Vaughan, and David Warner. And that was just a marvelous fantasy, and it's just quirky. It's kind of makes you go, what? So here the story starts in a small English town somewhere, and here. And our main character is Kevin. He's up in his room. He's playing with his toys. He's got his action figures and his toy soldiers and space guns and spaceships and all kinds of stuff. He's called down to supper. He puts away his book, a big book of Greek heroes and stuff. So all his toys and stuff are or a little bit of foreshadowing, and it just pops up later. And his mother calls him down to supper. She's zapped him some supper in the microwave oven, frozen TV dinner, while Dad is sitting there watching the boob tube. And Mom's going to as well. They're just slurping quietly, and they're going to watch a game show. And Kevin tries to engage in a little bit of conversation. It's very well drawn. Everything, the details, and it looks because it looks just like the set. So they must have used a lot of photo reference. And Kevin tries to talk because he's real interested in history and stuff. And then they tell him that when he's done eating, go up to bed. And here's got some of his little toys and stuff. He lays down to bed and hears a rattling. But what's not? And this wardrobe door busts open, and this knight on a horse comes busting through, and it comes racing through. And suddenly, there's a forest path, and the knight was rushing down there. He turns on the light, and his dad comes in, and all that stuff is gone. His wardrobe is intact, but there's stuff scattered all over the place. And his dad just chews him out for making a ruckus and stuff. And they'll go to sleep. So then later, the following night, it's time for go. And his kid, the parents are just zombified at watching the boob tube and make him go to bed. Well, he's got a plan this time. He's dressed, but he's got his dressing gown on, and he's got a camera with him, and he's got a few things. Lays down to sleep and wait. And here he hears the thud, thud, thud at his wardrobe again, and it creaks open, and these 7 little men come through. They're all dressed real funny, and these guys are led by one named Randall, and he surprises them, and they pounce on him, and we thought it's a kid. We thought it was the guy. It was the boss, and they're searching around, trying to find the door, find the door, to check the door, to find the portal, and they push against the wall, and it moves, and so they push. And the whole wall slides down a tunnel. I go, what the heck? Then the big light comes up behind him, and he says, quick, it's him. Get out. And they rush, and they fall. And it's the big, in the bright light, as the face, and says, return what you have stolen from me. Return the map. And then they come crashing into what is old rundown building. And now they find out, tells them that what that thing was the supreme being. And they used to work for him. Now they've become thieves, and they've got his map of little holes, portals through time and space. And then they rushes out, and they're confronted by soldiers on horseback, and he sees this battlefield off in the distance and a bunch of refugees. And Randall consults the map and to find where the next portal is. And they go on, and then we see it's Napoleon Bonaparte himself. This was part played by Ian Holm, and he's laughing at the puppet show until a stray bullet hits the puppeteer, from the battle, and he says, and he's real cruel and mean, and he says, I love little things hitting one another, and so he goes off to his dinner with his officers. But before then, all the little guys come out and do a song and dance on the stage, and he loves them, brings them into their dinner, gives them, and then he passes out from all the drink, and they find all kinds of loot. So they steal as much loot as they can, take off, and go through the next portal. And then, boom, they come in another time period. There's this coach landing in this coach. Here has a girl, Pansy, and what did he say his name was? Vincent. Oh yeah, and they're just about to kiss and come floofing right down through the roof of the coach, and spoiling it, rolls over and spoils everything. And then they are captured by a band of thieves, and it's trying to be tough. And they take them back to their camp, and they find out that these are the merry men of Robin Hood fame. And Robin Hood looks all funny. And this was not Michael Palin, but John Cleese, who had played this Robin Hood, and he was real funny and goofy. And there are a lot of gags, sight gags, and they're going to wind up buying their freedom with the loot that they had just stolen. And they take off, and then while they're distracted, to find the next portal. But then we discover the next big character involved in this is Evil himself. And this was a part that was played by David Warner, who has does so many genre films in fantasy and science fiction and stuff, and played two major roles in Star Trek movies, for example, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Anyway, and he's watching them. He has I forgot what, I can't think of it. Anyway, he's watching him in the pool of water, and he sends down an electrical zap down there, and he's got his little goons, and he's being mean to them and stuff. So one of the little guys has been basically hexed by Evil, and he directs them to the portal, and there is the Supreme Being again, chasing them, and there's the portal. There are two of them, and it is, and they will. Kevin winds up going. The little men go through one hole, and Kevin goes through the other, and he goes flop. And here, it looks like ancient Greek. Here's these warriors fighting. Looks like a minotaur fighting with this big warrior, and he goes flop, just flops down, this and lands on the and knocks out the minotaur. Then the warrior gets up. Has managed to give him an opportunity to kill the Minotaur. Turns out he's not really a Minotaur. He just has a bull's head on his head, and the warrior takes the head, takes the boy. Come on back with me, and you get to meet the king. When he gets there, and he finds out that the warrior is the king, and he stays there. He's there for weeks, and he's all this time he takes pictures and stuff, and with that camera that he brought with him, a Kodak. And it turns out that this is King Agamemnon. Now here Agamemnon is a nice king, and he's beloved by his people, which is considerably different from the Agamemnon that I know from the Iliad, who was one of the Greek kings that led the Trojan War, and led the 10-year siege against the city of Troy. And if my memory serves, he sacrificed his daughter to the gods to ensure victory, so that after their victory on Troy, he came back home and his wife murdered him. Justly so. But okay, here he's having a good time. He's about to make Kevin the prince and heir, and when these all these dancers are whirling around it, and then he it's the little guys, and they do a little magic trick, and poof, they're all gone. Then we got it's Pansy and Vincent once again, just about to smooch when the guys all land on top of them, and there they are. They are on the Titanic. And they're still trying to. Said there are other ways. Then the Titanic hits the iceberg and starts to sink, and there they go. So we've got to find the next portal. Said we're out in the middle of the ocean. Well, there are portals in the ocean too, but this is when Evil steps in, and he directs them to sucks them in with a whirlpool to take them through the next portal, which takes them to the age of what do they call it? The Age of Legends. Yeah, that's it. And here we see this ogre who's doing some fishing, and says how he's getting tired of fish. He wants to eat people, and his wife has a big old cauldron ready to fixing their supper, and then he pulls the fishing net in, and it's got all Kevin and the little guys, and while he goes and picks them up, the ogre's back goes out on him. So Kevin gets the idea. They get the little guy, they get the ogre, and they all grab a hold of him, and they stretch, and his back pops. That feels so much better. Then they toss him over the side. The lady, and then they push the lady over the side too. Now they're just off on the ship, and they keep going, trying to head for shore. But this is they can't steer the ship, and then they discover why. As they get close to the shore, they find out that the ship is actually a hat on a giant, and so they go down there, go through the deck to see the giant's scalp, and they bonk him on the head. It doesn't do anything. Kevin looks around, and he finds some stuff, a sleeping draft, and they put it inside in a bellows, poke it in his scalp, pump it into his body, and he falls asleep, and they manage to get away. Meanwhile, Evil is watching, and that leads them to this cavern in this castle, and it's the castle where Evil lives. And then suddenly, boom! Here's this. What the heck? It's like they're in a game show of some kind, and there's this maze that they have to go through, and they get there. There's the game show host, and says, "Oh, you're going to win the most fabulous object in the universe, and all it's going to cost you is the map," and that's what he was wanting. He was wanting the map. He gets the map. He turns back into his real self, which is Evil, and his little goons grab the little guys, and they throw them in a cage, and they are suspended over a bottomless abyss in this cage. One of the little guys crawls up, starts cutting strands out of the giant rope that is holding the cage in place, and brings it down till there's just a little bit left holding the cage, and they weave it all together to make another rope, and swinging, they're able to eventually get to the edge of the precipice, and and Evil is making his plans, and as the object here, and turns one of his goons into a dog to protect it. Well, they distract the dog with a bone. Then they get the map back, but zap! One of them is turned halfway into a pig. Evil is there and counters them, and they're zapping at him, and at Kevin, but he's avoiding them. But then crash! In comes a tank commanded by Randall, and then a spaceship comes crashing in from commanded by one of the other guys, and a bunch of cowboys by one of the other guys come in, and they rope him up, and then a bunch of archers come in, and he flings their arrows back at him, and the battle is going on, and suddenly, whammo! Evil is struck by lightning, and his body is basically carbonized and cracks and falls apart. Then there he is, and the little guys are says, "Oh, great one, supreme being, creator of the universe, with whom we would be mere scarab beetles on the dung heap of, if is the pig with you?" Yes, the supreme being is there, and restores the one who was a pig, brings back Fidget, who was crushed by debris, and he's fine, and said, yes, I allowed you to steal it. Now you're going to go back and work for me, and now you got to pick up all this debris, which is concentrated evil. Don't let it touch you, but it's all concentrated evil here, and put it in the trash. So they're throwing it all away. And then said, "Okay, Kevin, now we're going to leave." And it leaves Kevin right there. Wait, don't leave it. And he says, "Oh, wait, you forgot a piece." And then suddenly he wakes up. He was in bed. Smoke. The house is filled with smoke. Firefighters are rushing in to save him, and stepping on his toys, which is the tanks, the spaceship, soldiers, etc. Grabs the boy, takes him outside, and they say, "Oh, this is what started the fire, was the microwave oven." And Kevin sees that, the head firefighter, it's Agamemnon. And he turns, and his parents are opening the microwave that they didn't know anything was in there, and sees it's the concentrated evil. They touch it, and poof, they are incinerated. Then the fireman there gives them a wink, and the firefighters take off, leaving the boy there by himself. Says, "What's going on?" This means somewhere, sometime, and he sees the pictures. Yes, because he was thinking it was all a dream. But he's got the pictures that he took on the adventures, which means it was all real. It's a fun movie. It's a fun book, and it takes a lot longer to tell it because it's a thicker book, even as fast as I was talking. Oh, so have you seen The Time Bandits? Have you read the comic book? Oh, it was a lot of fun. See it if you can. Read the book if you can. It's all a lot of fun. It's a well written or adapted, good artwork, and the whole shebang. And it's well worth the read, and for $1 or whatever if you can pick it up. So thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of The Time Bandits. How much did you love the movie? If you've never seen the movie, you should. That's all for this time. And remember, comics are art.